QD-OLED technology brings so many benefits to the monitor space, with first-in-class speed of the panel, and ultimately next to no black crush in anything that I've been able to put on this awesome monitor. Today we're going to be covering black crush and how the amazing Aorus FV43U with its awesome QLED panel, while looking beautiful, still can't get the ultimate contrast that the QD-OLED or OLED can provide. Today I have Battlefield 42. Also, we'll be having a 4-monitor roundup versus the QD-OLED monitor, giving you my opinion on which I love, but regardless, they are all amazing monitors, and you can't go wrong if you choose any of them. Let's get into it.
Final round, fight!
And before we begin, please friends, if you do find this video helpful, please leave a like as it helps the channel tremendously so more people can see it, so I can get you more products here and showcasing them in all their glory. And consider subscribing if you do want to see more of these kinds of videos, as I got many more in the pipeline. So friends, this video will cover Black Crush, and I have some Battlefield 42 scenes to show you the differences. These are two amazing monitors, one with ultimate contrast and the other with ultimate brightness. Both offer something for everyone, as you can see here with my low darkroom gaming with a little bit of ambient light. OLED still wins in the sense of the pixels being able to dim to what's needed per scene, as the QLED Aorus is only edge-lit and is not dimming, as I don't have local dimming on. But the black Equalizer makes up for it, and that's what I wanted to show here today. I have the AW3423DW with the Aorus, as I wanted to show you the size difference and clarity of these images. And one thing I have been able to spot easily is the speed of the panel and the next to no black crush on anything I put on this QD-OLED monitor. Here I have Battlefield 2042 showing you the size difference of the QD-OLED being around 27 inches while the Aorus is 43 inches. And even with this ambient lighting, the QD-OLED is bright enough with no black crush, while on the Aorus, sometimes to get that maximum impact of VA technology, to get that contrast, sometimes, as you can see in the top part of the tank, it's crushing a little bit. On the Aorus, with the amazing black Equalizer on these VA and IPS panels, you just can't take the name IPS and VA and say one is better than the other, because once you introduce black Equalizer, it changes the game. That is next generation IPS or VA technology, and you actually need to see it in person to know what I'm talking about, and this Aorus does have it. All these three monitors besides the AW2721D have a black Equalizer and give the QD-OLED a run for its money. So if you say, oh, the QD-OLED beats IPS, beats VA easily in a darkroom setting, that is a false statement, because you don't know what black Equalizer can do unless you have one on your monitor. And so far, Samsung, BenQ, and the Gigabyte and Aorus monitors all have it. Some are better than others, but again, this Aorus has it, and it does tremendously against the QD-OLED or any other monitor. While the AW2721D, even though it has awesome dimming zones, it does not have a black Equalizer. Usually all LG Nano IPS panels cannot get black enough for that contrast. Now the G50A can, and you've seen it here on this channel, but it's not the same as the G70A's black Equalizer. So again friends, I always show you with a raised ISO, with a lowered ISO, darkroom gaming, ambient room gaming. I show you everything in between. So when I say it doesn't have enough brightness, or the brightness is good enough, or it's lacking, you know what I'm talking about because you know what I compare it to. I'm not trying to convince anybody to get this or that. I'm not in any bandwagon. I love technology, and I'll show you the differences. You can make up your mind what you like, but I will always stick to what I need and what I prefer on a panel. But one thing I will say on these QD-OLED panels is that there is next to no black crush. You can see in all these pictures right here, there is no black crush. And in scenes like this with the tank going into the tunnel, the OLED panel looks to have more contrast. This is where you can see that 3D depth of a picture. I've always said that from IPS to VA, the VA wins in contrast depth of a picture. It looks 3D-ish. Now add OLED or QD-OLED and just double that, and it looks even more 3D-ish, because the pixels can turn off, can dim individually to adjust to whatever you're seeing on screen, and it does have a perceived and real effect to what you're seeing. Now this is not one-to-one, because you do need to have an ultra wide to a 16:9. I don't have two PCs, I can only run this video to show you. which soon I am getting an Alienware R13 Intel desktop to be able to do some really cool things here on the channel. But you can see the clarity of the QD-OLED. It's all there. Again, friends, here with the tank again, there is way less black crush on the QD-OLED. I don't have to do anything. Unless I lower the contrast, I don't want to do that. It looks beautiful. While on the Aorus, there is a tad bit black crush. The black crush is introduced when I put the black equalizer too high, say on the G7 or on the Aorus, because I want that perceived contrast, that white versus black effect. I want to see it. I want that impact. And sometimes you just have to dial it in to get the best effect. But on OLED, it's a different experience. You don't have to worry about it because you can easily see right here the QD-OLED has no or next to no black crush. And that is something that's really cool. I didn't state this before. The Aorus is running at 60% brightness. Imagine what you would be seeing if you would see this at 100% brightness. It would totally blow out the camera. You wouldn't be able to see it. So everyone thinking I'm 100% blasting this monitor, at least for this video, I'm not. This is at 60% power. That's why I say in brightness, power, total impact with a lot of ambient lighting, all these monitors destroy the QD-OLED, but not necessarily everyone plays that way. I mean, if you're a streamer, I could see it, but I don't think you're going to use a 43-inch impactful monitor for your streaming needs. Usually stick to 27 or 32. And anyway, those monitors, until the Neo G8 comes out, won't have at least up to 600 nits in typical brightness with that awesome VA technology and colors. So I just wanted to add this in before we begin into the total versus videos between all the monitors. QD-OLED has its strong advantages, and there's more advantages than disadvantages, and there are benefits. But again, it's all about preference. I know what I like, you know what you like, and you gotta find that in between to see if a monitor makes sense to you. Again, I'm not here to convince you to buy one or the other. I already own them. I'm here to help you and show you the differences so you can make that awesome buying decision. Now, I have many more monitors, but I chose these for a reason. We have here on the bottom right the G70A rated at 350 nits. We have next to it on its left the G7 rated at 350 to 450 nits in SDR mode. In the top right we have the Alienware AW2721D rated at 500 plus nits in total brightness power. And to its left, the Aorus FV43U, and you can see all of them side by side with the AW3423DW QD-OLED ultra-wide gaming monitor. And I wanted to show you, while colors and contrast look beautiful, brightness does matter, and I wanted you to see the differences to see if this monitor is bright enough for you. Now I would say the QD-OLED and the G70A, you can see in the white scene, they look almost exactly alike in power, and its above average Innolux IPS display is beautiful. But the G7 on its left is brighter, more colorful, of course bigger, showing you 32-inch size versus the 34 ultra-wide, and the AW2721D with its super slim bezels, you can see, slimmer than the G70As, to me is the best in flat screen technology with that IPS flat panel look. It's beautiful, it's bright, and it handily destroys the AW3423DW in 16:9 content and just looks more ultra premium in my opinion. While the king of brightness power monitors right here, the Aorus FV43U, look how big 43 inches looks next to a 34-inch ultra-wide. I can't even fit it on my desk properly. I had to tilt it. You can see how maximum impact that monitor has. Friends, this is a sneak peek, in my opinion, on what an LG OLED 42-inch on the left would look like in terms of brightness power versus a true powerhouse in VA technology. It's drastic. But again, if you like that OLED look, the LG C2 42-inch would be your best bet. But showing you here, friends, we have an amazing Innolux IPS panel on the G70A, the best VA panel on the market today with the Odyssey G7 32-inch, and we have an ultra-fast, beautiful LG Nano IPS display in the top right with the AW2721D with a QLED panel from Samsung on the Aorus FV43U, all going against the Alienware AW3423DW QD-OLED ultra-wide gaming monitor. So guys, what do you think? All these monitors are amazing, and on this channel I've showed all of them extensively. Now, from all these monitors, my favorite is the Aorus FV43U. I love the size, I love that QLED contrast, ultra brightness. To me, it's just a fun experience, and it's my favorite monitor that I'm using even with this QD-OLED here in-house. My second favorite from this video would be the Samsung Odyssey G7. As it's brighter, it's to me the same in color, and I like that curve, but mostly it's about the 16:9 image. I'm used to it. I'm not used to 21:9, but putting that aside, again, the brightness and the color difference is minimal. I prefer the G7. Then would be the AW3423DW, as that OLED look is something to see and experience, and I'm happy I have it here on the channel. And I will put this toe-to-toe with the Samsung G8Q and B, as that is the Odyssey's QD-OLED panel coming out very soon, which will be cheaper than the Alienware, as that will be FreeSync, and I hope will be able to accept a 4K signal, as all my 1440p monitors of the G7 line and G50A do accept a 4K 60Hz signal, something the Alienware lacks and would have been much better for PS5 users. I love my PS5 on it, but 4K 60Hz signal would look better than the 1080p 120Hz that we're stuck with. So that's unfortunate with this latest and greatest technology. Again friends, all these monitors are awesome, and if you want to get the best of the best look of your QD OLED monitor, you need to set it on HDR on in Windows, push the SDR slider all the way to the right, enable RPG mode, crank up that brightness to 100, and this is how you get these exact scenes that you're seeing here today. Way higher than the stated 250 nits. This is not 250 nits. I'm telling you for a fact, if this was 250 nits, I'd be returning it. I am not gonna settle for anything lower than that. It's ridiculous. All my subscribers here know I love ultra brightness. That's why I have these monitors, and that's why I specifically chose these monitors to show you. Look what that G70A brings to the table compared to the Alienware AW2721D and then the Aorus. You see what I'm saying? That's what I like. I want pop, image pop. I want to be wowed and have fun when I play my games or watch my content. The G70A is barely good enough. It's awesome. I love my monitor, but it's barely. You get what I'm saying? And this QD OLED, if it was 250 nits, it'd be going back to Dell. I wouldn't settle for that. Now at these prices, I'm always honest with myself before I'm honest with anyone else. And I can tell you with confidence, the brightness is good enough because that OLED contrast is there, and it does get higher than the stated 250 nits. If you set up the settings like I said, you will enjoy this amazing picture. But as you can see, it's not the end all of all monitors. There is so much competition out there, and you cannot lose getting any of these monitors that fit your budget. So friends, many more versus videos are coming up. I do have the Alienware R13 desktop coming soon to showcase it with this beautiful QD OLED panel, and we'll be getting into all that as soon as it arrives. Friends, if you did find this video helpful, please leave a like as it helps the channel tremendously, and subscribe if you do want to see more of any of these awesome monitors here on the channel. Don't forget to check out the playlist so you can see more games and applications on each monitor to help you make an awesome buying decision. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys next time.